All right. Let's jump into this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's about failure.
Ooh, fun.
Not always fun, but
Yeah.
we're going to make it fun today.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at
Okay.
a speech called Lessons Learned from Failures,
All right.
which I think is something we can all relate to,
Yeah, definitely.
and hopefully turn these failures into fuel for growth, right?
I like that. Yeah.
That's the goal.
What I think is interesting about this speech is that right away you can tell that the speaker is being vulnerable with us.
Right.
They start off right off the bat
Yeah.
talking about this dream project that they had
Huh?
that just totally crashed and burned.
Oh.
And so like right away you get this feeling like,
Yeah.
okay, they're being honest. This is raw.
Yeah, I was totally hooked.
Yeah.
Right from the start. I felt like,
Yeah.
okay, this person has been in the trenches.
Right.
You know,
They get it.
they get it.
Totally.
And I really wanted to know, like, what did you learn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What wisdom did you get from this horrible experience?
Uh-huh.
So the first lesson is humility.
Okay.
But not, the kind of humility where you're like putting yourself down.
Right.
It's more about like accepting that we don't know everything, that we're not perfect,
Right.
that we're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact.
I feel like that's so important
Oh, yeah.
because we're so often told to
Right.
be perfect.
You gotta have it all together.
Yeah. Hustle, hustle, hustle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But the speech actually quotes
Mm.
a really famous entrepreneur who says,
Okay.
the only true mistake is the one from which we learn nothing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's not the mistake itself that's bad.
That's so powerful because
Wow.
it's really like changing the way we think
Yeah.
about making mistakes, right?
Totally.
It's not like,
Yeah.
beating yourself up over it. It's like, okay, what can I learn from this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And do you think that's like super relevant today?
I think it's
Yeah.
more relevant than ever because it's like
Totally.
you go on social media
Yeah, everyone's perfect.
and everyone is perfect.
Yeah.
And everyone's like got it all figured out.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, that's not real.
No, I know. And that's what's cool about this speech is that it's reminding us that
Yeah.
behind every achievement, there were probably like a bunch of stumbles.
Yeah.
They had to course correct a million times.
Uh,
And that leads us to the next lesson, which is resilience,
okay.
which I think is like super,
Great.
yeah. So they use this really great metaphor
Okay.
in the speech where they talk about failures being like stepping stones.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Each one,
Yeah.
it might be painful to step on, but it lifts you a little bit higher as
Yeah.
long as you keep moving forward.
Right. As long as you keep going.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
reminds me of that saying.
Yeah. Oh,
Fall down 7 times.
stand up 8.
Stand up 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one.
But it's not even just about like
Yeah.
getting back up, right?
It's about like
It's like how do you
learning.
how do you get better?
Yeah, how do you navigate those rough patches
Uh-huh.
more skillfully
Yeah.
each time?
Right. Right.
And the speech actually gives us a concrete tip, which I thought was cool.
Oh, yeah.
A real actionable thing.
Right.
So they say after a setback, after you fail,
Okay.
take some time, even just like 10 minutes,
Mhm.
to really analyze what happened.
Okay.
Like what worked, what didn't work.
Okay.
What could I have done differently?
So it's kind of like turning that failure
Totally.
into data.
Yeah, exactly. Like failure data.
Right.
Which I love that. Yeah.
And then using that
For your next attempt.
for next time. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think that leads really well
Yeah.
into the next thing,
It does, yeah.
which is
This is my favorite part. This is creative problem solving.
okay. Yeah.
So
That's a good one.
when things go wrong,
Uh-huh.
it kind of forces us
Yeah.
to get a little bit resourceful.
Right. Yeah.
We have to think outside the box. Maybe try something we've never tried before
Mhm.
because that original plan
Yeah.
didn't work.
Well, it's like that saying, right?
What is it? I
Um,
love things.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes,
You have to do
exactly.
it.
I love that one. And I think, yeah.
So the speaker even argues that, like,
Oh, really?
sometimes those limitations
Yeah.
can lead to the most innovative solutions.
Okay.
Yeah, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
And actually, they
Yeah.
tell a story about a time that they had
Huh.
a major budget cut.
For their marketing campaign. And they had to completely rethink everything.
Wow.
So they were kind of forced into this situation where they had to be like super scrappy.
Right.
So they ended up doing this guerrilla marketing campaign,
Oh, wow.
and it actually like went viral,
Wow.
and it ended up performing way better
That's,
than their original plan.
it's like turning lemons into lemonade.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good one.
But I feel like there's like another layer to this.
Yes, there is.
Right.
Yeah. And the speech spends quite a bit of time talking about it.
Okay.
It's this idea of reflection.
Okay.
Like, it's not enough to just like try again.
Yeah.
You have to really pause and dissect the failure.
Right.
Ask yourself some tough questions.
Like what?
Like, why did this happen?
Yeah.
What was my role in this?
Mhm.
You know, what did I do?
Yeah.
What assumptions did I make
Yeah.
that turned out to be wrong?
Right. Right. You know, that kind of thing.
I feel like that's really where the growth happens.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not.
But the failure itself doesn't teach you anything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the reflection.
Right.
That's where you get the wisdom.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And it actually, the speech had this really interesting idea.
Okay.
Keep a failure journal.
A failure journal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it sounds intense.
It does sound kind of intense.
But I kind of love it.
Yeah.
You know?
I could see how that could be valuable.
It's about making it a habit
Right.
of reflecting on your failures.
Okay.
Not just like brushing them under the rug,
Right.
but like really making them a teacher.
Okay.
And that leads us to the last lesson, which is my personal favorite.
Okay.
It's letting go of perfection.
Oh, man.
You know?
That's a tough one.
I know, especially in today's world
Yeah.
where it's
Instagram, everything's
really-
perfect.
right. Everyone's feed is flawless.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, come on.
It's so curated.
Right.
I know.
And so, yeah, letting go of perfection.
Right, because what the speech says is
Yeah.
striving for that.
Mm-hmm.
It often leads to procrastination
Oh, yeah.
and fear of taking risks.
Absolutely.
Because you're so afraid of messing up.
Right, right.
So they encourage us to try and like
Yeah.
adopt more of a growth mindset
Yeah.
where you see mistakes as like stepping stones,
Right. Not
stumbling blocks.
Stumbling blocks, yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
So, of all of these lessons, which one
Ooh, that's a good question.
really stunk out to you?
You know what? I think what's really powerful about the speech overall is how they reframe failure.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
they don't try to pretend it's not bad,
Right.
but they
Yeah.
offer this really compelling argument
Yeah.
for seeing it as
Okay.
an opportunity to grow,
Mm-hmm.
a way to become more innovative,
Right.
and just like a source of wisdom.
Right. That you can't get anywhere else.
That's so well put.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great takeaway for everyone listening.
Totally.
Next time you experience a setback,
Yeah.
you know, it's not the end.
It's just a plot twist.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's a plot twist.
Yeah.
And how you respond to that plot twist
Yeah.
is what makes you the hero of your own story.
Totally.
I think that's a great thing to ponder
Yeah.
as we wrap up this deep dive.
It is.
So thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive about failure.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully it wasn't a failure.
I don't think so. I had fun.
I had fun too.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see you next time.
Awesome.